Just wanted to shoot this video real quick because some of them aren't terribly descriptive and show some roundabout ways to get here. What I have is a 2014 Ford Fusion. It's got the 2-liter turbo. Came from another shop where they put a head on it and it didn't run. Well, they don't run when you got them out of time. So it takes a special tool. So this little thumb wheel right here is actually screwed into one of the valve cover bolts, and I had to take the caps off of the ends of the can, take off the vacuum pump, and then high pressure fuel pump, and take out these little dowels that go in these holes right here. Just grab them with a pair of vice grips. Be careful because you will deform them. So like I said, take off the vacuum pump and the high pressure fuel pump. Then this will slide in to these slots right here. Now the cams have to be the right way up because those slots are slightly offset. If you got one of them wrong, that tool won't fit in there right. I suppose I should have started out by mentioning that the variable cam timing sprockets and the crankshaft sprocket, none of them are keyed. These work strictly by the tension on the bolt. Okay, so this is the crankshaft end of things. Try to get you in there. So this is actually part of that toolkit. It's a little knurled thing. You screw it into this hole. You got to take a plug out. If you look in there, you can see that it's stopping the crank from turning clockwise. It will turn counterclockwise. I have everything set to be in time right here, and you do not take this out until you torque this. Also noteworthy, you need a new crank bolt. And this is what they call a diamond washer. This actually holds the damper onto the crankshaft, which locks the timing chain sprocket on the crankshaft in place. As you can see, I got the new one on there right now. So got everything positioned where I wanted as far as the timing chain. Clean up all your surfaces real good. Hit it with some brake cleaner, make sure it's good and clean, no oil. I just use Right Stuff to seal it back up. There's no gasket for it or anything. When you're going back on, this little guy right here is supposed to fit over the crankshaft position sensor, which it goes in them two holes right there. But even a Ford part, you know, Taiwan tool, doesn't fit the way they say it does. That's supposed to hook into a tooth on the reluctor wheel, you know, with the little slot right there. But looking at Identifix, there's a hole right there. There's only one, and then a hole right there. So I just found an M6 bolt, goes through this hole, screws in right here. And it's got to be timed right because one of the slots on the reluctor wheel is wider. Get it all back together, torque it up, she'll run. Alright, so here it is. I don't have it all buttoned up or anything, just to the point where I can make sure it runs. How about that? Guess tomorrow I'll button it up and work the bugs out. So my carpenter friend says I'm kind of a surgeon when it comes to things like the timing and stuff on these newer cars. You know, no key, and you gotta have these special tools and all that. It has to be done just right. I guess in some ways I am. Just to reiterate, somebody else put the head on this thing and it didn't run after they did that. It came in with one of the cams almost 180 degrees out of time. Lord knows where the crankshaft was. I just put it back together to see what I had, and to tell you the truth, I'm actually pretty surprised that it runs. And it really didn't sound bad.